Speak Easy Studios. Speak and be heard.
Yo, this is Stephen Lee.
And I'm Frank Jackson.
And we are the Distinguished Critics. We're here to break down some of our favorite albums and songs and debate what's overrated, underrated, and everything in between. So join us as we go back and relive some of music's most iconic projects. Give us a listen wherever you get your podcasts, and please remember to rate, review, subscribe, and give us those 5 stars. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of The Big Short. Yes, that's right, The Big Short. Sorry, we do not have a full-length episode for you guys this week, but we will be back next week with a long 45-minute to an hour project. So please, stay tuned, bear with us, we will be back. In the meantime, we are going to be discussing 2 singles that really propelled 2 hip-hop legends into the stratosphere and ruled the airwaves in 1999. That's right, we're talking about Eminem's My Name Is and Jay-Z's Hard Knock Life, the Ghetto Anthem. Frank, how you doing today, man?
Good. This is a really good piece of nostalgia for me because we're talking about, Jay-Z is somebody who, up until this point, I'm going to just be honest, I really didn't give a shit about that much. It's not even because he's from New York and I was from down here. I love DMX.
Or Biggie or whoever.
Yeah,
Nas,
it was just Jay just really wasn't,
moving the needle in that way.
This shit right here put him to that like GOAT status. There's few people who, and we both, we agree that Volume 1 I enjoy more, but in terms of hits on
Success,
this shit,
yeah.
Oh my God, the hits in 1999, Jay-Z was just dropping hit after hit after hit after hit. There was no looking back after that. It really propelled him to that trajectory of GOAT status.
Well, he transcended with this particular song, right? Because at this
it
point,
had the Annie sample and shit.
At this point, Jay had been in the game, let's be honest, for 11 years maybe. Yeah. I mean, Hawaiian Sophie started off with
go back to the Jazzo days.
He had found hip-hop success and local regional success with Can't Knock the Hustle.
Yeah.
And even, we talk about Volume 1, he tried to emulate a little bit of that bad boy formula where it's more of the 80s pop samples. Here, I think, is the first time in hip-hop that you ever heard a song take a Broadway show tune and make it a bona fide hit. I mean, this song alone propelled Volume 2 to sell 5 million copies, which I don't think anybody thought Jay-Z had that ability in him.
Right.
And then once he did this, again, there was no looking back. It was hit after hit after, even to this day. If he were to drop something or show up on somebody's, God did, he just did that song, people are going to be talking about that. So
I think this is one of those songs where it holds me hostage in a frustrating way. If it comes on, right?
I know exactly what you mean, but continue.
It's
please.
I've heard this shit too many times, and honestly, I don't feel like I need to listen to it, but I do because I love this beat so much. I love the whole sonic appeal of this song is great to me. Even just as an instrumental, I just love this beat.
Well, he starts it off with take the bass out, and then it does allow the piano to kind of just sit there and marinate for a little while.
So it's I'm a hover my finger above the next button. I'm
yeah.
I guess I'm do it a little
and his
bit.
flow.
Listen to the first verse.
His flow on this is very different to me because when I first hear a song like this, I'm expecting an artist to come in a certain way, and he'll end a bar with a word that doesn't necessarily rhyme with the last one, but it's the way he kind of weaves in and out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's he definitely took a different approach to this, and credit to him. It's just a genius way to structure your song because it does keep you locked in. I want to hear what he does on this shit, and he killed. This song deserves every bit of what the
accolades
became.
Yeah,
and.
Do I think it's the best representation of Jay's skill? No. Do I think it's a very unique approach to really hip hop that hadn't been done before, and he did perfect that. Yes,
I do think this is a nice landmark for you to look at in terms of Jay becoming somebody now who can make hits.
right.
Because right after this, he was somebody who could make hits.
Well, you had Big Pimpin', Give It to Me,
which was soon after.
That. Yeah,
And he just had hit. I mean, just his run for the next 5-6 years or so
before he took himself out of the game.
Yeah,
was
just crazy. Like, he had so many hits after, and this is where it kind of started at. I think that this song is also, which is important, one of the songs of the era. Like, if you tell the story of hip hop in
the late
eras,
90s, and
you get to this one, this is gonna be one of the songs that's mentioned, because it kind of is one of those things where you might not remember exactly where you were when you heard it, but you do remember what you were doing around that time. Like, it's one of those types of songs. So no, this isn't Jay-Z's skill at his peak, but that's also not what this song is really
intended
meant to be.
And the video was great too, because on the last record you had him in those lime green suits and the Rubik's Cube disco floors with the crystal ball, all the puffy stuff, right? This one, it's literally him on the block.
Yep.
And when he's saying, "In the memory of my Biggie, baby," like, you just feel every piece of what he's saying on this record. He did try, and he went back to that well with the song Anything. Didn't quite work as well as this one, but this is a landmark Jay-Z song. And if you were to poll, I would say, like, a number of people, this might still be the first song that they mention when talking about Jay.
Agreed. And that's what I mean when I say, like, this was the perfect and right song for him to make, because this one stands the test of time as much as any Jay-Z song. This is like the H to the Izzo level. Like, this is something you're just gonna remember from him forever. So this was what put Jay-Z kind of on my map as somebody who had appreciation for some New York artists at the time, but mostly for me at this age, it was Outkast, it was Trick Daddy,
or
it was
the artists that we're getting ready to talk about.
Well, yes,
or you're talking about even before this.
Yeah, let's get into that then. So my name is, this shit was different than like anything, literally anything that had ever been released in hip hop, right?
Has kind of a parody feel.
Absolutely.
It's just comedic all throughout.
We would learn what is Slim Shady, right? So at this age, I didn't know anything about like the Slim Shady LP. I didn't know anything about Infinity, like any of the stuff that Eminem
his
had
rap,
already.
Rap Olympics or Unsigned Hype and The Source, none of that, right?
Right.
Most people didn't, to be honest.
Right. So to me, I'm getting home, and this is why this shit right here is so important to me, because when we were growing up, you get out from school. I lived on the same street that my school was, so I walk home. It took me like 5 minutes to walk home. Walk home, get home before you do anything, before you clean your dirty ass skin or do anything, before you even went outside, you turned on BET.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, Ceda's World, Rap City.
So Ceda's World,
we've talked about all that.
Rap City, Hits from the Street. All of this shit is on, right? So I get home.
God, what a time.
And this is even when, credit to like even TRL and all of that shit was still like really big. So it wasn't just BET, it was MTV too. Like MTV was still
playing music.
Was still doing music. Yeah, believe it or not. Yeah, for those of y'all out there, believe it or not, music television used to play music.
Yes. Such a strange concept, I know, but they did.
And they were good at it.
Yeah.
They were good at it. So we get home, and I remember getting home, and it was this like when something new would come out, they would like introduce it as such. this video comes on, and obviously my first observation is like, oh, he's white.
Yeah, I think that
So,
was
like,
everybody's like, wait, what is this?
yeah. So I'm watching this shit, and it might have been one of the first times in my life outside of like should I eat this person's candy because they're not looking, that I ever felt like I was told, you never get that, somebody's not looking, you take their candy.
I'm
and
listening.
Eat it.
I'm listening. Continue.
And I was conflicted. Like I didn't know what to feel about it.
Should I like this?
It was so different.
Yeah.
That like I didn't know what it meant at the time. Something about it was grabbing me. But on the same note, it was like, this doesn't sound like music that I'm used to hearing. Like I don't know what this is. Like I think I like it, but
is it?
I don't know if I like it. And also, is it okay to like it?
Is it intended to be like a parody? Is it like supposed to be like to the point where it's almost insulting, right? Where it's just like, are you spoofing hip hop?
It's almost like Weird Al adjacent.
Yes. Because every bar is just like some.
It's joke. Eminem is
Howard
a funny
Stern,
ass dude. Like
shock value.
As we would learn over the years, like Eminem is a funny ass dude, and he's very good at having just like peak lyrical ability.
Well, that's one thing that stands out. While
also telling jokes during it, right?
Right.
He's almost like we talk about this all the time. He's kind of like this. You could tell he was a fan of Redman.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it that way. Like
that infamous line, it goes
right.
Reggie, Jay-Z. I mean, we
Exactly.
ain't got to finish it. Redman is his favorite rapper.
You could tell he's a
Right.
fan of Redman because that's the exact vein that he raps in, right? Like you're not gonna get it twisted and think that I'm whack or that I'm just somebody to be taken as a joke, but I am gonna get these jokes off though.
Right.
So, this was kind of the first foray into Eminem's shock rap, but you didn't know it you knew it from the video, because you knew. That's another thing that was important to me, right? Is that at that age, like I'm looking at the video and I'm like, something about this is like, it feels like I shouldn't be watching it. Like I would get in trouble for watching it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, right? Just because there's something so weird about it, something so different about it. But then when you hear the unedited version of the song, now it's like, oh shit, this is way different.
Right.
Then he's talking about, slapping Pamela Lee's tits off. Just all
a lot of
kind
pop
of
culture references of the time. I
Yeah.
think the one thing for me where it was just like,
talking about hanging himself from the top bunk, all kind of shit
All
that
of
like
that.
you just never,
yeah.
you never hear from. Like
I just found out my mom does more dope than I do.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
all that stuff. But I think the one thing that kind of made me co-sign it, because like I even back then at that age, I pushed away against stuff that I thought was like not hip hop enough.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Where like I wanted to like really appreciate like real rap at that time. The Dr. Dre cosign. I think that's kind of what put the stamp on Eminem, because anybody could come out with a song.
I'm glad
like
you
this.
brought that up, because that is one thing that made me feel like okay about it. Is like I do know who Dr. Dre is.
Right.
Like I do know who Dr. Dre is, and Dr. Dre is on here. I see him
Right.
on the video, so I'm like, okay, this isn't. If this is a joke, then Dre is in on it.
Yeah.
I don't really know what it is, but there was just some. I knew there was something about me that liked it, right? But I didn't know if I wanted to bring it up to my friends.
Yeah,
Like, I saw it.
I like this bleach blonde haired
Yeah.
new white rapper. It's like, because
It
at
was-
that point, really, you had like MC Search, you had like
Yeah.
Everlast, but like the
Well,
last
and
white
that was
rapper,
long before us too.
right?
So like
the,
we
the-
didn't.
The
even
big white
fucking know who they
rapper
were.
was Vanilla Ice, and it's just like, no, the white rap thing is not going to work. I
Yeah.
think again, what saved he saved himself. Like his pen is among the best of all time. You didn't really see. Now you got
Saved
like.
him is he'll eat your favorite rapper alive.
Correct. This is the bars are still technically there, but like this is like a joke type of record, and I feel like this actually kind of was appropriate for him to be introduced in this manner, because so much of that Slim Shady like alter ego is that part of it, and to have Dre doing the beat. And okay, this guy's on Dre's label. It gave him that cosign where it's like, no, it's okay because he is spitting. Dre's backing it up. And like, let's see what he does next.
Yeah.
Then what he did next was, Guilty Conscience. He had these songs where it's just like, no, this guy can rap.
And by that point, it was like
It was over.
Oh,
It was over.
like enough. This
Right.
is he's one of the best already.
Right.
So, yeah, My Name Is was this different thing where I wouldn't say I was an instant fan of Eminem, but I knew I wasn't an instant hater
Correct.
of Eminem.
I would probably categorize myself in that same thing, in that same boat where it's like, this isn't a bad song, but I'm not all the way there with being like an Eminem stan, so to speak. And I never really became that, but like I certainly gained a lot of respect and enjoyed his music in those coming years, you know? So where would you go then? Because again, Jay had been out for a while. This put M on the scene, but like in terms of like a mainstream relevancy, Hard Knock Life put Jay on the scene. So there are parallels with them.
One of these songs, and this is probably what it comes down to, one of these songs aged infinitely better than the other one, and to me that's Hard Knock Life.
Okay. I was wondering where you were going with that.
Yeah, it's not My Name Is. I'm going to skip My Name Is every time. It's probably just because I heard it 450 million times, and it's not even like M's best work to me. It's just something that's nostalgic for me.
Right.
Now, I do think that Eminem, and I don't give a shit how any of y'all feel about this, Eminem is like 3 times the spitter that Jay-Z is. Yep. I don't care.
No.
I don't care.
No. That's a conversation for a whole other episode. Just make your point. But no.
Fucking eat him alive.
No.
And he did on his own song.
Yeah,
But
okay, everybody knows. Eminem murdered you on your own shit.
That's
but
right.
whatever.
Everybody
it was
does
one
know.
song.
And nobody can say anything about it.
Just get back to the topic at hand.
But M fell off in a way that, I mean, Jay did, but Jay came back. M has not come back yet.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that Hard Knock Life is the better
of the
single.
two.
And I think even from just a hip hop perspective, sonically, it sounds just more like a hip hop song than My Name Is ever did.
Yeah.
So
that's one thing when revisiting My Name Is, it still kind of sounds like some Weird Al shit to me. Even though, like, again, the bars are there and like he's making you laugh, but like it doesn't feel like one of those
it's just like
true hip hop records.
It's just like the other one. What's the other Eminem song?
Just
Guess
Lose
Who's
It?
Back.
Oh yeah.
I forgot the name of it. Without Me,
Yeah.
right?
Well, he had a few of those. Just
Like
just
that's
Lose
a
It was
super
one. Yeah.
banger, right? And
Yeah.
you'll always remember it. It doesn't sound like a hip hop song though.
Right.
It just is one of those Slim Shady. And credit to him, it's one of those things only Slim Shady could do.
Right.
But
You're going
those
Jay.
songs don't age very well to me because they don't exactly sound like hip hop to me. And I'm not one of these people that's like, it needs to have this type of thing. But that one, those songs are decidedly to me just not they're in a different category.
Correct. I'm going with Jay. I think Jay just has a better record here. I think Hard Knock Life, like you could put up against a number of great artists' biggest singles, and it's going to go toe to toe with that. It was a moment in time where Jay announced to the world that like, no, I'm here and I'm here to stay. And M did that, but I don't think he did it with just this one song. I think this was more of just an attention grabber, and it made you want to see what was coming next.
Well, M with the Marshall Mathers LP is what made people, like, just as a whole, that
Cemented
entire project
him. Yes.
is what made people say, like, this dude is,
Right.
he's for real.
All right, so we're both going Jay. Again, apologies, we don't have the full-length episode. This one's about 20 minutes, so hopefully that can tide you guys over. And until then, we'll see you next week. Peace.
Thanks for giving us a listen. Give us your feedback and let us know how you really feel. Subscribe, rate, review, and we'll see you next week.